Hello, everybody. My name is Sophie. My husband and I are avid travelers, and we have been creating free and full itineraries for vacation destinations all over the world to share just with you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe this page if you find this information exciting, relevant, interesting, and I would love to hear feedback on this itinerary for when you guys take it and travel elsewhere. Also, you can follow us along for more adventures on our TikTok page, Cooks Travel Talk. Also, if you comment itinerary below in the comments, I will send you a free full PDF of this specific itinerary. Today's itinerary is a 4-day trip to Moab, Utah. We are from St. Louis, Missouri, and flew into Salt Lake City to get to Moab, Utah. It is a 4-hour drive-ish, give or take, to get from Salt Lake to Moab. So we actually flew in pretty late on a Thursday night and rented an Airbnb halfway between Salt Lake and Moab, got a few hours of sleep, and then drove the rest of the way to Moab in the morning to start out at Arches National Park. And just so you guys know, there is a time entry reservation requirement. So ours was at 9 a.m. and we hit in the morning Park Avenue Trail, Double Arch Trail, and Landscape Arch Trail. All three of these trails were very easy. We got them done very quickly. Would recommend seeing all of these famous arches. We ended up leaving the national park to go get lunch at the Moab Food Truck Park, which was super fun, a really cute spot. There was probably 15 different options. And even though we had that timed entry at 9 a.m., once you leave, you can come back. It's just the initial reservation time that you need. Also, if you go in after 5 p.m., you don't need a reservation. After lunch, we checked into our hotel. We stayed at the River Canyon Lodge. It was a super cute, updated old motel, very clean, very spacious, very comfortable. It was right in the middle of Moab, so able to walk to different lunch spots, dinners, breakfasts, lots of cute coffee spots, shopping. Moab is a very cute little town, and after we rested for just a little bit and got settled into our hotel, we ended up doing the famous Delicate Arch Trail, which is, according to All Trails, moderate. I would put it between moderate and hard. Definitely give yourself some time whenever you are doing that trail. We took some happy hour snacks and some beer up to the top of the trail and enjoyed the sunset over Delicate Arch. Came back and we showered and we ended up getting dinner at a brewery called Proper Brewing Company. Our next day was an early start. We drove from Moab to Canyonlands to see the sunrise at Mesa Arch Trail. That's actually how I got this injury here. It's not a dangerous hike at all. I'm just clumsy and I fell. I ended up breaking this bone right here. So still recovering from that, but it did not impact the rest of the trip. Certainly enjoyed the sunrise hike. It was absolutely worth it. After the sunrise, we hit the Grand Viewpoint Trail, which is just an easy walk along the canyon. And then we did the Upheaval Dome Trail, also an easy hike. We just so happened to get lost, which we shouldn't have. It's a very well marked trail, so you don't have to worry about that. All of these are worth checking out for sure. Since we got up so early, we left Canyonlands to go back to take a nap and rest before we did the rest of our day. After we woke up, we got lunch at a cute little spot called Milt's in downtown Moab. This is a famous lunch destination, so it gets very crowded, but it is definitely worth checking out. It's got really great burgers, milkshakes. It's just like a little pull-up joint. So if you go at the peak lunchtime, you'll probably be waiting an hour. After we had huge burgers and milkshakes for lunch, we did another hike that was an underrated surprise. So we didn't do the fiery furnace in Canyonlands because it is recommended that you have a guide to bring you through so you don't get lost. We were right on the cusp of the season, so the guides hadn't started yet. So we filled in this spot where we were planning on doing the fiery furnace with a hike called the Corona Arch Trail, which is not inside Canyonlands or Arches National Park. It's right inside of Moab. And this was a wonderful hike. It is in the state park, but it doesn't cost anything. And you should absolutely see this if you are in Moab. For dinner, we ended up going to another brewery. It was called the Moab Brewery. Very great beers, good food, good vibes. It's a good spot to check out. And then we ended our night at Dead Horse Point Overlook for the sunset. And OMG, this was absolutely worth the $20 per car to get into this state park. Like I said, this is a state park. It wasn't inside Arches or Canyonlands, but you should definitely go see this. To me, comparing it to the Grand Canyon, it's just as grand, if not more, and way less crowded. Bring some wine, bring some beer, bring some snacks. It is a beautiful, beautiful sunset. Our next day, we again woke up pretty early and headed to the south entrance of Canyonlands. It is a little less than 2 hour drive from Moab to get to the south entrance to do the Chesler Park Loop Trail. This was the longest and hardest hike my husband Andy and I have ever done. It was, we thought, about a 10-mile hike, but it ended up being a 10.85-mile hike, so closer to 11 miles. It's absolutely doable if you're a beginner hiker. But it is very long and it was difficult. We brought plenty of water and food, but just keep that in mind. You are literally in the middle of nowhere, so make sure you have your water and your snacks. We went to dinner just directly across the parking lot from our hotel to a little Thai place called Thai Bella. Very delicious, good prices, and it was very nice to just be able to walk directly to dinner. There was a great patio and the weather was very comfortable in April during the day and in the evening in Moab. A little bit of a later flight, so we slept in. We got breakfast at the Moab Diner, very delicious by the way, and then took the 4-hour drive back to Salt Lake City. Went to the airport just to check in early, and the Salt Lake City airport is super beautiful, so the beer and the food was really good, and we got on our flight and headed home. Overall, this was one of our favorite hiking trips, one of our favorite national parks that we have hit so far. So I would definitely consider going to Moab.